Obviously really pleased to get a win. I told our guys after the game, I don't care who you're playing against, any level at all, it's hard to win in college basketball and college athletics. So this is a team that was averaging 86 points a game. They were 5th in Division II in field goal percentage offense and 20th in the nation in scoring in Division II. And Jimmy Ellis is such a good coach and been under the tutelage of some really good coaches like Marty over at Evansville. So just happy for our guys to kind of get that monkey off their back and get back in the win column.
Coach, you talked about confidence a lot when I talked with the guys earlier. You know, how big was confidence tonight? I mean, you had two guys, obviously you're without Trey Kellum, but you had a couple guys, Taj Eady and Jonathan Dalton, who gave you some pretty good minutes in terms of getting their confidence up. You know, this whole team, how big was confidence tonight in terms of this win?
Well, I'll tell you what, I always believe in this. Players make their own confidence. I can't instill confidence in them. I can try, but at the end of the day, they've got to go out there and perform. The coaches can't do it for them. So with Taj he's a freshman and he's a 155-pound freshman. So he's going to have his ups and downs due to the physicality of the game. But Jonathan Dalton, these past 2 games, is a guy that's finally looking like a scholarship basketball player. And so some of the things that we saw when we recruited him, he's actually starting to do now. He was injured early in the season, and so I think he's starting to get back into where he's feeling comfortable with his body and comfortable what's going on on the court. But we need him because he's a guy that can get into the paint and make a play for us.
Mm-hmm. Game you led wire to wire. You didn't feel like it, I know, probably for you over there a lot of times, and probably a lot for these guys, but you know, really were able to kind of impose your will there a lot in the first half. A couple difference makers, you know, specifically talk to me about Jamal Calvin in that first half. Maybe he seemed like he caught fire. And then in the second half, Denzel Mahoney, when they were really pressing, seemed like he asserted himself. Yeah,
Jamal is doing the things that we expect him to do now, and we want him to do it on a consistent basis. He's a good shooter. He doesn't take bad shots. So what he did against DePaul and what he did today here against Henderson State, we just want to see that on a consistent basis because he has tremendous leadership skills. He talks more than anybody on our team. He wants to win. He's about the right things. And so we just want to see him make those open shots on a consistent basis. And Denzel Mahoney, you know, he goes from scoring 0 points on 0-9 in the past game to scoring 18 points here, and that's an ebb and flow you have with a freshman basketball player. But the thing I was really impressed with him is that he came in the second half there with 4 fouls, and most guys when they come in with that 4 fouls, they're out there timid, especially on the offensive end because they don't want to pick up that 5th foul on a charge. But he was out there aggressive playing basketball, and so same thing from him. You want him to be consistent, but you expect consistency from a senior, from a freshman, that's a little bit more difficult.
Mm-hmm. And did you sense that he really asserted himself when that game was kind of getting close? I know they made a good push there in the second half, about 6 minutes left. You know, what did you see? What was kind of the difference in general for the team in terms of being able to kind of pull away and separate?
Well, he's a physical presence, and he doesn't use his physicality all the time. So he stopped screwing around with jump shots at times and just got the ball and ripped and drove by people. Mm-hmm. And those are the things that he can do, and it puts such a pressure on the opposing team's defense because not only can he shoot the basketball, but if he shows his driving abilities, now it opens up things not just for himself but also for others.
You guys cleaned up well on the boards. I know you out-rebounded them 41-26. But you're without your leading rebounder in this game too. Is that encouraging for you?
Well, it's things to me like size shouldn't make a difference in you rebounding the basketball because like we always say, if you're in a mismatch, just make sure that guy doesn't get it. So if you're blocking out somebody that's bigger and stronger than you, your sole position is to make sure that he doesn't get it, and then other guys come downhill and rebound the basketball. The thing that I want us to continue to improve on is we've been doing such a good job of taking care of the basketball. I think we had 17 turnovers against this team, and then all the hustle plays as far as them scoring in the paint, them scoring off our turnovers. Offensive rebound, putbacks, those types of things. To me, those are effort and hustle plays, and I think they beat us in all those categories. So we got to make sure that we don't give up those hustle category plays again.
Yeah, Antonius did say he felt like this was a team that pressured the ball a little bit more in half court than maybe some of the previous teams you played. How did you see it there?
Yeah, I think he hit it right on the head, and he hit it right on the head because I told him that after the game. This is the first time that we've had pressure in quite some time, and I didn't think our guys reacted to the pressure very well. When they exposed us by getting to the passing lanes, we just dribbled the ball around and we didn't back cut. You still got to get ball movement when teams are denying. So when teams are pressuring you, denying, you only got two things you can do. You can cut and get into the paint, or you can drive it and get into the paint. We did neither. We just kind of dribbled around and said, hey, come get a catch. And when the guy didn't get a catch, we kind of dribbled around again. So we've just got to do a better job when a team is playing us like that we do a good job of back cutting, freeing ourselves up and fighting for catches.
What did you think about the shot selection tonight? You guys did shoot, you finished 45% from three. I mean, obviously you were really hot in the first half. Were you pretty pleased with the shot selection tonight? Or?
Yeah, I thought we took good shots, but more importantly, when we took a bad shot, we hit a couple bad shots too. And at the end of the day, you need some guys that are good enough to make some bad shots for you, because you have to take some difficult shots. But I was pretty pleased with our shot selection, especially as the game went on. We were a lot more aggressive as far as attacking the paint and making plays.
Seemed like the defensive and the activity on defense, I know is what you preach a lot, wasn't necessarily there the entire game, but how do you evaluate it when you guys really did need it there in that second half?
Yeah, I thought in the second half we really defended well. I think we held them to something like 36% from the field, and then I think something like maybe 12.5% from the three-point line. And so those are good numbers right there for us. But it's got to be a 40-minute game, and that's where we got to grow as a team. We've been notorious getting off to bad starts. And so we put ourselves behind the 8-ball, and then we come back in the second half and we play hard, but we put ourselves in such a hole that it doesn't matter. And so what we need to do is we need to have better starts and obviously better finishes.
Talking about an OVC play here a little bit, this is a good booster to kind of go into. Obviously, a win, any win you can take going into it's big, but you do get your first OVC game here at home too. Talking about the factors that you guys kind of do go into this. I mean, obviously you're going to be going up against teams that know you a little bit more. What are your thoughts here as you do enter OVC play?
Well, this is a clean slate for us. Everybody starts our OVC play 0-0, and because of the fact that we're a one-bid league, only thing that matters is getting to the OVC tournament and then trying to get into the NCAA tournament. So no matter what you did in the non-conference, you really have a clean slate, because you can go in and play well in conference play and put yourself in a position to do something that you're trying to do, which is live out your dreams and get to the NCAA tournament. So regardless of what happened for us in the non-conference, it doesn't matter anymore. What matters now is that you go out and you fight and compete in the OVC play. And so we've had some disappointments, but we also had a lot of injuries that we didn't expect, and we've got 9 new guys. And so hopefully guys are starting to get a little bit more of a feel for what it takes to be successful at this level, and guys are starting to understand their own limitations too. Part of being successful is knowing what you can't do. I think a lot of people realize what they can do, but some people won't accept what they can't do. And once we accept our limitations, then we can come together as a team and go out and do some things that's necessary in order for us to be successful on the court.
I know going into this, Trey was questionable. Was this more of a precaution that you kept him out of this game, or where's he at?
No, he's not questionable. He can't play. In order for him to play in a game, he's got to be able to play in practice, and he hasn't even played in practice yet. So it wasn't a precautionary thing trying to get him ready for EKU. If we could have played him, we would have played him, but he's just not been able to practice yet.
Okay. So still, I mean, you're looking like he's probably not going to be ready for Saturday, or
unless he can play tomorrow in practice. I don't see him playing on Saturday, and I haven't seen any sort of evidence that he's going to be able to participate in practice tomorrow.
Okay.